Those who pre-order Dead Space Remake on Steam will receive a copy of Dead Space 2, the second installment in EA's original Dead Space trilogy. The remake of Dead Space, developed by Motive Studios, will be released on January 27, 2023 and will tell the story of the original game with next-generation technology. As announced by the Dead Space Twitter account, players who pre-order the remake on Steam will also receive a free copy of Dead Space 2. With Dead Space proving to be a faithful remake of the original, new players to the franchise will get the chance to jump right into the sequel, where some of the remake's gameplay improvements come from. Also, although the announcement was only recently made, all players who have already pre-ordered the game will also get Dead Space 2 for free. Dead Space pre-order offer could bring new fans to the original trilogy. With Dead Space bringing a number of updates to the 2008 classic, the game will likely be an excellent entry point for newcomers to the franchise, with a free copy of Dead Space 2 allowing new fans to pick up where it leaves off. The remake, with protagonist Isaac Clarke getting a new voiceover for the remake, as well as Dead Space 2's gravitational flight replacing the original game's jumping mechanics, the continuity between the two titles is also likely to be stronger than before. While the story of Dead Space will see some changes, hopefully the transition between the story and Dead Space 2 should still be fairly smooth. While Dead Space 2 still holds up well by modern standards, in the eyes of many of its fans, a remake of the original Dead Space could mean a sequel is next. However, no official statements have been made about a possible remake of Dead Space 2, and while the original game had areas for improvement, the second one could prove significantly more difficult to remake. While a free copy of Dead Space 2 is a great deal for new fans, Dead Space 3 has been particularly overlooked, perhaps due to the more divisive nature of the game. With the resurgence of survival horror in 2023, Dead Space will face fierce competition, perhaps even new content for its spiritual successor, the Callisto Protocol. However, enough renewed interest in the franchise could mark the start of a Dead Space revival. Either way, the ambitious Dead Space remake shows promise, and with Dead Space 2 being offered for free, January 2023 will likely be a good time to jump into the classic horror franchise. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.